Hi, it's Bishop Connie Stewart, Believers Empowerment Church. I want to say happy Resurrection Day to you. Listen, I have a message for you that is going to be so phenomenal. Today is the day that we pause and celebrate the death, the burial, and the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It's a good day to celebrate Jesus. I want you to enjoy this message, and I'm telling you, I'll be back in a little bit. It's going to be amazing. See you soon.
It can't be all in vain, because if it's in vain, I'd have threw in the towel a long time ago. If it was in vain, I would have backslid by now. If it was in vain, I would have gave up. So it can't be all in vain. It can't be all in vain. And I know that this is a very traditional day, and I know some people don't dust off their church clothes until it's Easter time. Come on. But I want to suggest to you that for the believer, it should always be a celebration or memorial of that thing called Easter.
Yes. All the time.
All the time.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I should always be in remembrance of the sacrifice that Jesus made. And so sometimes we're in trouble because God has done an act and we forgot and start acting up.
Wow.
Because we don't recognize and understand how great the act was.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
Oh, Lord. We don't understand the effects of what God did for us. And so I want to run quickly to Matthew 28. Very familiar passage. I was trying to decide, Lord, am I going to be traditional or am I just going to do what I want to do? And for the sake of the day, I don't want to ever assume that people understand and recognize and know the story. I don't want to ever assume that people understand I didn't come from a traditional church. And so, Erica, you know, that was my last 7 sayings. I didn't know nothing about that. I'm sanctified. I didn't know nobody came together and talked about the last 7 things Jesus said. I didn't know it. But something got in my spirit. I got to looking at it because I have to recognize and understand that I know what he said, but what am I saying? Come on. See, he dying and talking. I'm living and won't say nothing. So that brought a conviction to me that even at the worst time of his life, he had something to say. My Lord. So Matthew 28, verse number 1. In the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week, came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre, which is the vault or the tomb. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat on it. His countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men. And the angel answered and said unto the women, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified. He is not here, for he is risen, as he said. Come see the place where the Lord lay. And go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead. Now those that walked with him wasn't nowhere around, had to tell 2 women. Now the disciples walked with him all the while he was living. Isn't it amazing the moment you die or have a dying situation, those that walk with you can't find. And tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead, and behold, he goes before you into Galilee. There shall you see him. Lo, I have told you. And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy. That's why I tell you, if you ain't scared and excited, it might not be real. And did run to bring his disciples word. And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, All hail, and they came and held him by his feet and worshipped him. Then Jesus said unto them, Do not be afraid. Go tell your brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me.
My God.
Lord have mercy. Verse number 2, it says, And behold, there was a great earthquake. For the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. Oh God, if I could talk to you today just for a few moments, I want to talk to you. It just got real. Father, we thank you now for this, your precious people. We thank you for your anointing that's being released in this house. Thank you for a resurrection anointing, God. Help us in this hour to experience what you experienced. God, open up ears that we might hear it. Hearts and be right receive. We give you glory in advance. In Jesus' name, somebody say amen. 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 Because do you recognize and understand that it's one of the greatest dilemmas of the resurrection? Was it real or was it not? Do you understand that this was not the first resurrection ever in the Bible?
That's right.
Huh?
Right.
But this was the only one that nobody saw.
Come on.
And so it was not so important, it was not so special that he was resurrected, but it was how he was resurrected. Yeah. You got to remember that in 1 Kings, that was the widow of Zarephath's son who was resurrected. That was the Shunammite son who was resurrected. Man tossed into Elijah's tomb was resurrected. The widow's son of Nain was resurrected. Jairus' daughter was even resurrected. So it was not the fact that he died. He got and got up because they had seen so many people be resurrected. But why would Jesus allow others to be resurrected? So that when he is, you won't think it's crazy. Because sometimes God has to expose us to something that we have no exposure to, so when he does it in our life, we won't go tripping.
Come on.
My God. There are some dreams, there are some visions that God has given you. You haven't touched them. Why? Because you have no point of reference. You think it was a real dream, but you don't see how you can bring it to pass because he has not yet showed you anybody else who has done it.
Right, come on.
So could it be that here he is? He says, now all throughout my walk and my assignment on earth, I'm showing you snapshots of those that are resurrected. Not only was it Jairus' daughter, but you had Lazarus. Y'all remember him? Yeah. Not only was he resurrected, but Jesus waited 4 days. Yeah.
My God.
History says after 3 days that your spirit leave your body. So he waited a 4th day on purpose because I didn't want y'all to think he was sleeping. I wanted you to know that he was graveyard dead because I wanted you to understand the power of resurrection. Yes. You got to understand, even when he went to the graveyard, he had to call Lazarus by name because he had so much power. If he'd have just if he'd have just said, get up, everything in the grave would have got it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my.
Yes, Lord.
So he probably had to call Lazarus because that was a common name in those times. He had to probably call Lazarus Keith Johnson. See, he had to probably call his whole name. He probably had to go government on him because he said, I know that my voice has power and authority, so I got to call a specific Lazarus so he can understand. My God. You got to understand when it's your getting up time, God will call you by name. Lord have mercy. And then there were so many others that have been resurrected. And so sometimes we get caught at the crucifixion. Oh, it was important and it was valid, but it was not the end of the matter.
Yeah.
Oh, it was gruesome. It was horrible. Most people don't like to talk about it, but you'll watch horror movies. You'll watch them all day and let people get cut up and sliced and shot. But then when we start talking about a crown of thorns on his head, when we start talking about how they whipped him out, oh my God, I don't want to talk about that. That's so harsh. Why are we talking about that? But we're doing worse than that in the street.
Come on. Oh Lord.
Jesus.
My God.
Y'all don't wanna understand. So the cross is focused more on the death or the dying. But sometimes you got to realize, I know it's dead and I know it's done, but I can't stop there. Yeah. Most of us, when life happens, we just stay at the death part. Come on. And we so busy crying about what died that we won't let nothing else be resurrected. We so busy in a pity party about what was lost that we won't go to what is found.
Come on.
Lord have mercy. And so we have to recognize and understand that this was indeed important. This was indeed, and I begin to ask, I said, well, Lord, tell me these last 7 sayings and all of this. Why is that so important? He said, because I want you to understand when Jesus was talking, because he technically did not have to say anything. He was between a rock and a hard place. He was in the worst time, but had the nerve to have commentary.
Come on.
Jesus. While he was dying, while they were killing him, he was steady talking. Because he says, if this is going to be the last thing I say, I need to make it very important. If it's going to be the last thing I say, I need it not to point to me, but to my assignment. If I'm going to have a conversation, I want you to remember my ministry and not me.
Come on.
And so the first thing that he says, just for your hearing, he says, Father, forgive them. Lord have mercy. For they know not what they do. Now, they got me up on the cross. I'm not even guilty. Some of y'all was guilty.
Oh, Lord.
They got you up on the cross. Not even guilty. Just got through saying, Hosanna, Hosanna. I'm looking you in your eyeballs. And you turn around and say, crucify me. And the first words that come out of my mouth is, Father, forgive them.
My Lord. Jesus.
So he's demonstrating, number one, that forgiveness is important. I'm dying and can't die with unforgiveness.
That's right. Come on now.
Then he also shows that his ministry on earth was just as important as his moment on the cross. He shows us that even in his death, he was thinking about somebody else.
Come on.
Even in his dying. Child, y'all dying, y'all ain't thinking about nobody else. You want folks to think about you. But he's saying, Father, forgive them. They don't even know what they do. What is he saying? Because, see, you got to understand the Bible said, if I be lifted up, they messed up. Say, see, forgive them because they don't even know. They too were a part of the plan. They don't even know. They flipped on me, but it was part of the plan. They don't even know they used to ride with me. Now they're killing me, but they don't even recognize and understand. Even they flipped was a part of the plan.
Wow.
So he says, Father, forgive them. For they know not what they do. They think they're doing a bad thing, but they right on time. They right on schedule. They right on plan.
Come on.
Oh, Lord. Y'all don't believe it. Forgive them. Somebody say forgive them. Forgive them. They don't know. Then the next thing that he says, today shalt thou be with me in paradise. Here we go again. Not only am I innocent, but I'm in the middle of two people that are guilty.
Oh, God.
Okay. Talk about it.
Wow.
What a tragedy. Two people that are guilty, and I'm innocent, but I'm getting the same punishment, if not worse.
Yes.
Have you ever felt like that?
Oh, yeah.
I ain't even do nothing. I'm trying to see why I got a whooping.
Jesus.
But you know, when mama go to whooping, she whooping everybody in the house. I ain't saying nothing. But even in that, not only did he forgive, but then he even at the last minute, the thief decided to repent, and he said, I got you too.
Yes.
Because see, we think that life is going to be perfect and we're going to have time to get it right.
Yes.
Not everybody got time to get it right. That's why you got to keep it right.
That's true. That's good.
That's
Oh,
very
Lord.
good. Yes.
Well, I know, but you know, I'm going to hold it, and then on my deathbed, I'm going to ask God to forgive. No. Because see, it don't always work like that. You ain't going to always have a deathbed. Sometimes your death might be instant. So I can't keep nothing in my heart that was simple.
Yes.
That's the truth.
Lord.
Real.
Yes. Wow.
Yep, the house.
Then I love it because then he goes and he says, woman, behold thy son. His mother is there. Oh, you know that's an emotional thing. It's one thing for people to see you go through, but it's a whole nother thing for your mama to see you go through. It's a whole nother thing for daddy to see you go through. It's a whole nother thing when it becomes personal and somebody that knows you well is watching you be processed. Is watching you be persecuted. You know if she could, she'd have got him down. You know if she could, she'd have beat up everybody that was out there yelling crucify. She'd probably turn around and say, shut up. You shut up. She'd probably tell everybody, be quiet, that's my son. But what was he doing at the end? At the end, because you have to understand it's customary that the oldest child take care of their parents. Well, he said, I know I'm going to die. So he looks at John and he says, behold my mama, now you behold her, because I'm entrusting her to your care. I got to go, but while I'm gone, she gonna always be covered. Even on your worst day, you got to make sure there's a covering. Even on your worst day, you got to make sure all is well. Even on your worst day, you got to make sure folks are taken care of.
On your worst day.
You don't even realize it's on your worst day that them children kept you alive. It's on your worst day that had you not had the husband, you'd have never got out the bed. It was on your worst day. If you were not responsible for something, you would have never changed your clothes and took a bath, baby. You was having a hard day. Nobody knew what it is to lay on the couch for 3 days in the same clothes. Ain't nobody ever had a hard situation where you done cried all night long and you said, I don't feel like it, I don't want to. But the kids start hitting you on your leg. Mama, we hungry. Mama, we got to go to school. And you get out just because you've been entrusted with better make sure she's right. I didn't put something to the side. I didn't hear a little something. You better take care.
Yeah, that's right.
Mama.
Jesus.
That's good, Bishop.
So he says, woman, behold thy son.
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Because really what he was saying, look at me, mama. Don't look at me, but look at me. Have you ever had them moments that say, no, don't look at me. Because you said, I need you to see past what you said. I need you to look past the reality. You know me. You know who I am. You know how you got pregnant. You know this thing was miraculous. You remember when the angel came. Don't get it twisted. Don't forget about my conception. Don't forget about my beginning. Woman, behold thy son. I'm the son of man, but I'm your son too. I'm the son of God, but I'm yours too. Don't forget.
My Lord.
Work yourself.
Then he turns around after he got his mama together and he said, okay, it's getting rough now. You have to understand that this was a 6-hour thing. This thing was going on for 6 hours. Then he turns around and says, my God, why?
Yes.
Oh,
Jesus.
forsaken me. And you have to understand and recognize Jesus knew that this was a part of the plan. Jesus knew that this was a part of his assignment. But why did he feel like God had forsaken him? Do you realize for the first time he was separated from God?
My God.
For the first time. Why? Because sin separates you
My God.
from God. So he separated from God, not for his sin, but for mine. Because he chose to bear my sin, he had a disconnection in covenant. So he felt what it felt like to be without God, even though he was on God. He felt what it felt like to be in a backslidden state. He felt what it felt like to be a sinner and get no grace. He felt what it felt like, and he said, why would you allow me?
My God.
Why?
Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Because we got to understand sin separates me from God.
That's right.
It don't separate God from me.
Yeah.
It separates me from God. So the outlet's still there. I just can't get the plug. Have you ever been trying to plug your phone up in the dark? Because sin bring about darkness. You know it's an outlet on the wall, but I just can't. The outlet ain't moved, it's just separated. Sin has separated me. If I had the light on, I could see where it was. If I had the light on, I would know where to connect. But because I'm in darkness,
My God. Jesus.
Lord have mercy.
Jesus.
Sin has separated me. And so he cries out, my God, why in the world have you forsaken me? He felt forsaken, but he know he wasn't forsaken. I say he felt forsaken. Many of us go through life and there are days that you feel like God has forsaken you. You feel like God has left you. He done went on a far journey somewhere and forgot to come see about you. Look like he at everybody else's house and everybody else's neighborhood. But some way, somehow, he done forgot to see about you.
Jesus.
Come on. Oh, he on the cross. He working for you now. And then the next one, he goes on and have the nerve to say, I thirst. I love that message, Bible, because it sounds thirsty. Lord have mercy. And see, you have to watch the world because the world will pick up stuff from the Bible and try to distort it. Because now when you say I'm thirsty, it's a bad thing. In the text, it's a good thing. See, you talking about you're desperate. And see, in the streets, you're desperate and you're hungry. And so we have to understand that number one, he says, I thirst, or he says he's thirsty. Why? Because it was a part of the crucifixion process. You have to understand that they needed a sign. People are standing out there and they're trying to see what's really going on. And so there were telltale signs if you were really being crucified. There were telltale signs if you were going through the death process. And one of the last ones of a dying person is I'm thirsty. I don't know if you ever sat by somebody at MD Anderson. I don't know if you ever sat by the bedside of one that's dying. All of a sudden they say I'm thirsty. And you can't give them water, you give them ice chips just to wet their lips. And the nurse will come in and say they're just going through the stages. They're just going through the signs of death. And so it was a telltale sign that he said I'm thirsty, but it was also a sign that that he was human.
Yes.
Lord.
Right.
Come on.
Because sometimes we can think that God is so God that he can't understand my humanness.
Yes.
Oh, he said, I came and wrapped myself up in flesh so you would have a point of reference that I recognize and understand, and I am touched with the feelings of your infirmity. I had to come down and bleed blood.
Yes.
God.
My Lord.
He said, I'm thirsty.
Yes.
And I said it the other night. I said, and sometimes the enemy tricks us because we're thirsty from dying.
Yes.
But we think we're thirsty to live.
Come on.
Now, thirst is a part of the death process, not the living.
What?
Oh, God. When you're working out and running, you killing fat cells. You're trying to get your body in alignment. When you get home, you say, I'm thirsty. Why? Because something is dying off of you. Something is being released from you. So thirstiness has to do with dehydration.
Yes. My God.
Good.
But see, we think thirsty has to do with desperation. And because you're thirsty, you drink anything.
Come on, Bishop.
What you say?
Help us.
He met the woman at the well. And he told her, pour me a drink. And she's looking at him like, I'm here because I'm thirsty. He said, I know. He said, but you're trying to draw from a well when I'm the well. Oh, you got to be careful in this season for looking for a well. And not the well. Because some folk, you'll be well for a season. With God, you'll never thirst again.
Jesus.
Ain't nobody saying that.
Yes.
So he came and he says, this thirstiness was to let you know that I am human. Lord have mercy. Then number 6, he goes and he says, it is finished. What is he talking about? Then he goes and he speaks in his native tongue and says, tetelestai. Lord have mercy. It is finished. What was he talking about?
Jesus.
He was making declaration that his assignment was finished. He was making a declaration that prophecy had been fulfilled. He was making a declaration that he had received and achieved victory over the enemy. He was declaring that his suffering was finished. He says finished. Because you have to understand, when he started, he had finished it. When he started, he only started because he recognized what the end was going to be. He knew that his assignment was bigger than him. Some of us, we stop because we don't realize that somebody is dependent on me to finish. Sometimes we throw in the towel because we don't recognize that my mama might be standing there while I'm being crucified. My cousin might be standing there while I'm being crucified. My co-worker might be standing there while I'm being crucified. That this assignment is bigger than me, and so I got to finish it.
Come on.
I didn't say you got to feel good. I said you got to finish.
My Lord.
Because we don't mind finishing as long as we feel good. But he'll set you up in a way that it won't feel good. And ask you, can you finish now? Lord have mercy.
My Lord.
But we got to get to a place that we achieve victory over the enemy. Do you realize a lot of stuff you blame it on the enemy even right now? It was finished then. He ain't doing that to you. It ain't him. It's the enemy in me.
Come on.
It's me stopping me. Because he ain't got no power. He only have power I give him.
Yes.
So if he have power that I give him, then I'm spending too much time gassing him up.
That's good.
I just think the devil is against me. He ain't got time to be against you. Truth be told, you're not even that important to be against you. Oh, no, we don't like that. Honey, he got bigger demons to fight. Honey, you ain't see that lady down the street? He got bigger folk to get out.
Come on.
Lord have mercy. So then number 6, he says it is finished. And then the last one, finally he says, Father, this is all the crucifixion. He's doing all of this in 6 hours. He said 7 things. Then he says, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit. Now you got to recognize and understand that in John 10, he says, if I have the power to lay it down, I got the power to pick it back up. So that means death didn't even have the power to kill him. He had to die himself. So even while I'm being crucified, I need you to recognize that you can't kill me. I'm going to just lay down. Have you ever seen, you don't even realize the power up there. Have you ever been in a hospital room when somebody's dying and you said, oh God, but Amy ain't here yet? Big Mama got the power to hang in there. How you you do that if you die? How you got the power to hang in there till your auntie walk through the door? As soon as she say, Mom, I'm here. Woo, thank you. She gone.
Yeah.
Why? She had the power to stay till she ready to go. Lord have mercy. She got the power to stay till she ready to lay down.
Yes.
Y'all ain't saying that.
My Lord.
Jesus.
I'll never forget that horrible day when they found my mama dead. And I thought to myself, Lord, she had been in the hospital previous years for 5.5 months fighting for her life. How could you let her go like this?
Jesus.
How could you do that? He said, yeah, because in that season she was fighting for her life. This time she got to lay down.
Jesus.
When they did the autopsy, they couldn't find nothing wrong, Wanda. She didn't have no heart attack. She didn't have a stroke. She ate her yogurt and laid down.
My Lord.
Hey, my God.
Because he said, this one right here, I'm going to lay it down and then I'm going to have the power to get back up again.
Jesus.
God.
Jesus. Lord have mercy. The Bible says even Enoch, he walked so close with God that he missed death. He was walking. He didn't even have to lay down. He just kept walking. And all of a sudden, anybody seen Enoch? No. Anybody seen him? No. Anybody know, did he die? I don't know. No, he just kept walking toward God. Walked and just fell off the face of the earth and got caught up.
My Lord.
You can walk so close with God that you can miss death.
Jesus. Whoa.
So he said, I'm gonna commit my spirit into your hands. I don't need this fleshly blazer no more. I can take it off.
Yeah.
My God.
Because you have to understand, all this is a cute little suit. He said, I can unzip this and get up out of it. I don't need the flesh no more. I only needed that for a season. I needed that so I could walk with some folks, so I could demonstrate who I was on the earth. Now I'm getting ready to transform, and I'm not going to walk with them. I'm going to live in them.
Yes.
That's good.
And so he goes and he drops flesh and he commends his spirit back to God. Lord have mercy. So he purposefully dismisses his spirit. You can go now. And it was at that moment he died. But guess what? Buddha died. Muhammad died.
Yes.
It's a whole bunch of folk died. We worshiping all kind of folk that's dead. That you can actually go to the grave site. They there.
Yeah.
Hold on. Lord, there's a whole bunch of people died, and so that's not necessarily what we celebrate. Death was part of it. And I said it the other night, I said we're so busy celebrating the act that we forget to celebrate the work. The death was just part of the work that he did.
Yes.
But because of that act, he's still working today.
Yes.
He's still working today. So now we go back to the text in Matthew. I have to say all of that to say that. Lord have mercy. So we go back to Matthew 28, where here they are. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary, they get to the tomb where Jesus lay. Lord have mercy. And behold, there was a great earthquake. There was a great shaking, the Bible says. For the angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled back the stone. See, now this angel sounds a lot different than the one y'all talking about. Lord, I saw angels in my room. Now you couldn't have. Come on. Because this one here caused the earthquake when he showed up. Roll back the stone. It says countenance was like lightning, that his raiment was white as snow. Do you know there's a white that's whiter than Clorox white? Huh? If you ever seen a real angel, the white is white. I mean, it's like one of them. Golly. It's a white that's whiter than snow. It's so white that it blinds you. And I know. You say, man, I was getting ready to get this lady. The angel sat on my shoulder. Now I do. No, the angel, they told me he can't sit on your shoulder. No, I had this water devil was over here and the angel was over there. Okay. Now this angel here, because that angel would have knocked you out. Now it's not that little angel on your fireplace with their legs crossed. That's not, no, I'm not talking about that angel that you have in a box till Christmas time and come out. No, this was a real angel that came and rolled back the stone.
Yes.
And for fear of him, the keepers shook too. The earth shook, the guards shook, and then they were paralyzed like dead men. And sometimes we don't realize the effects of the resurrection. Sometimes we don't understand how it affects us, but you have to realize that there is an effect. How did the earth felt the effect?
Yeah.
The Bible says suddenly there was a violent earthquake. Lord, even the world shook because what was getting ready to take place. Then here's the angel. He comes down like a superhero. With lightning flashing, and he's so bright he looked like snow because he even had an assignment. He said, I got to get there before they get there, because when they get there, I need to be sitting down. I don't even want them to get there and have to see something. I want to be there so they can recognize and understand what has taken place. So even the angel had an effect. And then it says the guards got so scared that it even affected them. That they were like dead men. They stood there still. They couldn't even do their job because what had happened had overtaken them. But the reality is, if it affected the earth, it affected the angel. It affected the guard. My question is, how does it affect you? The earth shook. Anybody shook up?
My Lord.
My God. It's real.
The angel turned into a superhero.
My God.
Even the guards were paralyzed.
Yeah.
They stopped doing what they was doing.
Yeah.
Not because of his death, but because of his getting up.
Yes. Jesus.
Not because he died, but because when I went to look for him where he died, he went there.
Jesus.
Something had happened between the time that they put him in and the angel showed up. There was an effect. Everybody was affected by it. And we live in an age now that nobody is affected by what Jesus did. We're in an hour now that those that should be affected are infected.
Jesus.
Lord have mercy. Because we have forgot about what he did, but the earth couldn't forget. They say something miraculous that took place. Oh, a prophecy is being fulfilled right now. And angels being sent on assignment, and they meet the two women. Now you got to understand, I told you now, it's those two that are there. Now that you got to believe that they there to see if he there, then they there because they doubt if he there. So they come and they like, I don't know, we just better hang around because we need to make sure they ain't finna do a switcheroo. We just need to hang around and make sure they're not gonna try to take him out and run some type of little thing on us. And now they had been around him, but they were not sure about the... Now, I told you in the Bible, there were at least 10 resurrections that I found. So resurrection was not that special. But here's Jesus dying, who told you he's gonna be resurrected, and we're not sure. But he says, now you walk with me when I resurrected folk, but you don't believe I can resurrect me. You were around and you heard, you got the text message about J. Iver's daughter. You was hanging around, you didn't get the email that now they not dead. You didn't get the scratch out that said dead but alive. You didn't see that they had taken the toe tag off their toe.
My Lord.
My God.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. I grew up in a day where, honey, they would come and one of the preacher's sons would die and he'd go to the morgue. And he prayed till he be resurrected. Oh, we're in an hour now that we don't think nothing can get up. I'm talking about naturally or spiritually. Honey, your car died, you don't even believe it can get up. Your money died, you don't think it can get up. Your honey died, you don't think it can get up. Y'all ain't saying nothing. We're in an hour now that if it's dead, you just get rid of it. But there's some things that you can't get rid of. There's some things worth resuscitating. There's some things you got to ask God, can it be ever again?
Jesus.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, because, see, we have taken on the spirit of the beehive, that you can have another one in a minute, not necessarily. Oh, y'all ain't saying nothing. Everything in your life dead, you trying to take it to the left. Oh, it's some things can't go to the left. It's some things that I need to get right. It's some things, that's the problem. It's to the left, to the left. No, I ain't going to have another anointing in a minute. I ain't going to have another prayer life in a minute. Lord, I need you to resurrect this one. I need this anointing to come up on the inside. I need you to push me out of my comfort zone. I need you to yes me.
Come on. Jesus. Yes, Lord.
Y'all ain't saying that.
My God.
Yeah, y'all get that junk in your spirit and just start letting everything go.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah.
My
All right. Y'all might be like me, don't know what no beehive is. I'm talking about Beyonce's looking trying. I didn't know need, I just learned that. I learned that for this. I don't know about the beehive or none of that. But we have to watch what we put in our spirit, because what we put in our spirit, we start acting out.
Yes.
You'll sing it till you start doing it.
It's true.
What have you lost that you shouldn't have lost because you thought it was dead and it wasn't? What have you lost that you shouldn't have lost but you thought it was dead and it was just sleeping? But you done already put it to the left, to the stuff that's got to go to the trash.
My Lord.
I told you I was cleaning up my closet one day and I put all kind of stuff to the left. Child, I laid down and got up and said, what the devil was that? But I went to the left and threw that jacket to the right. I went to the left, put them shoes back out. I said, oh no, it's some stuff I can't. Because I went to the closet and realized the jacket matched the shoes that matched the pants. It's some stuff go together, woman. No, I can't have the car without my house.
Yeah.
I can't have my house without my honey. I can't let go of everything.
Come on.
I'm trying to help somebody get you better retrieve it from the left.
Come on.
Get it from the left. I'm trying to help you. Lord have mercy. And so we got to understand. So I'm back at the tomb now. I'm back. And the angel answered and said unto the women, fear not ye. Now he say, now these men scared, but don't y'all be scared. Because they shook, they still. Like they paralyzed, the Message Bible said. That they can't move, they just trembling because they under Holy Ghost arrest and don't even know it. He said, but y'all don't fear. For I know that you see Jesus. I know who you looking for. The one that was resurrected a couple of hours ago. I know you looking for him. Guess what? He ain't here. Come on. He has risen. Not just he has risen, but he rose like he said he would. He said, y'all don't know? Y'all didn't believe it? He said he was going to get up. So what you come here looking for? Isn't that something? God said he going to do something, then you go looking for the opposite to be done. God said he going to open the door and you walk in. Tell me, I just know the door going to be locked. I told you I'm about to open it. Why are you looking for it to be locked? So did you ever believe what I said when I said it? And most of us, I believe, as soon as he's speaking, it goes one in right out the other. Because we really didn't believe it. And so they came looking. He said, listen, he did just what he said. He said, come see the place. Well, the Lord, like, come on. He said, I'm going to even give y'all inside treatment. What'd you say? He said, because see, and you have to understand, sometimes you're the one that God brings close. He said, because see, I know your mouth big. If I let you see, you're going to go tell it. Oh, y'all don't realize, these were the first two evangelists. He said, because I'm going to let you see, and I know you're going to run tell it. He said, now, I want you to go see. Then, as soon as they saw, he gave them an assignment, because there's no way God will let you see something and not give you an assignment to do something with what you saw.
Yes.
How many of y'all have seen something but ain't done nothing with what you saw? How many of y'all woke up out of a dream and said, ooh, God, you talking to me, but you ain't did nothing with what you saw? How many of y'all had a vision, had a plan, but you ain't done nothing? How can you see it and not move on it? How can you see it and not act on it? How can you hear instructions and not obey?
Jesus. Lord have mercy.
How can it be? How? So in the Message Bible, it said it like this. And the angel spoke to the women, there is nothing to fear here. I know you're looking for Jesus, the one they nailed to the cross. He is not here. He was raised just as he said. Come and look at the place where he was placed. Now, get on your way quickly and tell his disciples. Now, as fast as he died, the disciples left. Do you realize some folk just waiting on you to die off so they can live? Look at that. But as long as I had 2 fish and 5 loaves, as long as I was at your mother-in-law house and I was getting out off the couch and feed her, as long as I was handling your business, you was good. Then the moment I had a dying moment, you leave. The moment I have a breakdown, you gone. The moment that I can't fund your eating trip, you can't hang with me now. The moment I can't give you no gas money, we can't roll no more. The moment he died, they gone. And so now I got to go between you. You used to walk with me, now I got to give somebody a message to give to you. Because not only are you gone, but you way off somewhere. So now I got to get 2 girls to go tell 12 men.
Jesus.
Oh, what you talking here? And so let me help those that say a woman ain't called to preach, a woman can't carry the word. The angel gave her one and she carried it to her. Not only can a woman carry the word, she was pregnant with the word. Y'all ain't saying that, that's carrying it to me. Last time I checked, when I was pregnant with my son, I carried him. He couldn't walk, he didn't have no feet, I carried him. And with the word in you, you can carry the word. You qualify to carry it. Y'all ain't saying, don't let the devil trick you. Now the question is, how you carry it? You didn't get pregnant by yourself. Now I hear you like that. Oh Lord. So I tell women all the time, I don't know who got an evangelistic anointing or who got a preaching anointing, but I'm trying to tell you, you don't come to take over, you just come to take your place.
Yes.
We in trouble now. The pulpit is messed up now because so many women have come to take over. You can't come take over, you just have to find your place. The pulpit didn't get messed up till hips and fingertips got in it.
Come on.
Y'all ain't saying that now, huh?
Bishop.
Because they just want suits, but we come in red bottoms and we got on.
Yeah.
Their folk can't even look up now. You preaching, they got to have their head down. Because we scared to be hid behind the cross. We want everybody to see us. So we disrupted order.
Bishop.
Oh God, I wonder if God give me strength, I'm going to find every woman that's out of order and help her get in order. There's some things that should not be allowed in this pulpit. There's some things that you just...
Come on.
Obey him. Help.
That's right.
Oh Lord. See, I grew up in the hour, they say, were you called or did you just come? See, some folk you wasn't called, you just came.
Hey. You just came.
See, I'll never forget when I was younger, I had a youth pastor, and Lord have mercy, I had a youth pastor, and he was a rapper. Wow. And you know, he would be gone, and he's rapping, and he's doing his thing, and great man of God, and his wife would be at home with the kids, and boy, you know, one day she said, you know what, I'm just sick of being at home.
Oh my.
I'm just sick of being at home. Before you know it, she started,
Oh my.
before you know it, this girl had turned into a rapper herself.
Oh my God.
Now, when she called her, did she come?
Oh God.
Did she come just because she didn't want to be left without him? Or was she come? See, some of us doing stuff just because we don't want to be left at home. Some of us doing stuff, we ain't been called, we just can't. Some of us, we can't handle him being in the limelight. You want some light.
Oh.
Bishop. Because some of us, we in the pulpit just venting. We in the pulpit just showing off the latest fashion. We done forgot about Jesus mixed in. I'm getting in trouble on Easter Sunday. I'm trying to help somebody. This thing here ain't no fashion show. This thing here costs you something. This thing here, you got to die to yourself.
Yes.
Right. You talking good.
Bishop. It's just wonder. You can testify to this. It's just been in my recent years that you would catch me wearing something like this, preacher. I only do that because the Bible says he that wins souls is wise. And some of y'all is so trendy and cute that you need to know that your pastor is just as trendy and cute. But I was raised that you were all black from the crown of your head to the sole of your feet because you had to be dead in order.
Blessing. Yeah. The truth on Easter Sunday, Bishop. Yes, we talk about.
Nobody want to be dead no more. We only want Jesus to die. Nobody want to die no more, but you got to die daily. He said, you got to take up your cross in order to take mine up. I got to die.
That's right. That's the word. That's the truth.
Ain't nothing wrong with being cute, but if cute is your purpose.
That's right.
Because who you being cute for?
That's it. That's it. Come on. Come on back here.
You should have paused that.
They need to hear me.
But I want to help somebody, and I'm not judging nobody. I want to help somebody because I have to recognize and understand everybody don't have a spiritual mother. Everybody don't have nobody that have taught them. Everybody don't have nobody that have told them you do need a slip. The devil's a lie. You do need a girdle on. The devil's a lie. Put on a bra and a sports bra, beloved. You need to be tied up, wrapped up, and
Yes, baby. That's yes, and that. Yes.
we got to recognize the price that Jesus paid. You could never pay anything like it. So the little inconvenience that you do ain't nothing.
Lord.
You ain't dying for nobody.
Nothing compared.
Yeah. But I'll never forget, as a young girl, my grandmother was part Cherokee Indian, and so she had this really good hair, but it was thin and long, and so she would plait it and ball it up and wear a wig. And back in those days, you know, she was a woman preacher when it wasn't popular, and so the men would come to the church and say, that woman got a wig on, that woman got on this. And guess what? She said, well, I only wear the wig because my hair is fine and it'll sweat be all in my face. But she realized that the wig would have become a stumbling block. So she said, forget it, honey, plait my hair and let me go. She said, because I'll take the wig off, because the ultimate thing is that they hear the gospel. It ain't about me being cute. It's about them hearing he that will sow.
Yes. That's right.
But our favorite phrase, child, it's just me. But that's the problem. Too much of you alive. They got to take me like I am. Do you?
At the house.
No, I ain't got to take it.
No.
Because they went an hour now, then we got to understand if Jesus died, that's some dying I got to do. If he was all God and all man and went through suffering for my sake, that's some dying that I got to do. Lord have mercy. On this resurrection Sunday, somebody say, I'm dead.
I'm dead.
But I'm trying to tell you, we're in an hour now that we just can't keep doing this old watered down, diluted stuff. We let folk water down our conviction. You know you convicted by what you got on, but somebody say, girl, you cute. And you walk out the door, you know you ain't cute. You know it's a mess. How I know you know?
Yeah.
Okay. See, you did that at home. So the moment you start doing that, change your clothes.
That's real right there.
See, I grew up in the day that you went to the mall and you was in the dressing room like, okay, I can't shout it, I can't get it. You like, oh, thank you. Oh no, that hurt, I can't get it. Oh no, that skirt roll up, no, I can't get it. You was making sure you was shout proof, but nobody shout no more.
Shout, my Lord.
We don't even come to the house of God to celebrate. We don't come to his house to worship. Because you be like, oh no, this shirt ain't gonna let me lift my hand. Oh, no, when they go up, all my belly's showing. Wait, let me see. We're not doing no checks no more because we don't plan on moving when we get there.
Real, Bishop. All right.
We DOA, we dead on the ride.
Wow.
And then I'm like, somebody lift your hands. You're like, ma'am, I can't. Somebody stand up, jump on your feet. Ma'am, my skirt's on the low. Ma'am, and after service, she said, I'm not being disrespectful, but if I had to lift my hands, my whole shirt would have bust off. Well, don't wear that no more. Oh my God. Because I don't need nothing that will withhold my praise. I don't need nothing that would stop me from worshiping. You don't want nothing in the way when God's sending his miracle, when he's sending his blessing. What if he say, I ain't got the right clothes to send it today? There's nothing that stands between him and blessing you. Lord have mercy. So we have to understand. So here, I don't even know how I did that. So here we go with these two women that get divine instruction to go tell the disciples that he has risen just like he said. And then he had the nerve to say, now go meet him because you're getting ready to sin.
My God.
So we have to recognize and understand the benefits of Jesus' resurrection. What were they? The forgiveness of past sins.
Yes.
Anybody been forgiven?
Yes, God.
Ooh, Lord. Huh? Anybody had any past sins, or you just woke up saved? Anybody know what it is for your debt to be paid? Huh? Anybody know what it is for something to be forgiven?
Yes.
For a debt to be wiped clean, you call to get ready to pay the phone bill, the light bill, and they say, ma'am, it's already been paid. And you pass out. Now, that happened to you, honey, you be dancing all over the house. But if somebody tell you, ma'am, you dying tomorrow, oh, wait a minute, oh, somebody died for you. What?
My Lord.
Somebody took my place?
Make it plain.
You know how powerful that is if you had a death sentence?
Make it plain.
He said, wait a minute, you call in, I'm supposed to die tomorrow, I'm just trying to see if I'm still on the book. Ma'am, I don't know what happened, but somebody took it. But see, that right there, we ought to have that kind of experience every day. Because every night somebody lay down, somebody don't get up.
Yes.
True.
Lord have mercy. So we got to realize forgiveness for past sins. Now, God can forgive you for all the stuff that you did. I'm talking about the stuff that you don't testify about. I'm talking about the stuff that you didn't get caught doing.
What you say?
See, you only talk about what you got caught doing.
What you say?
See, we dog out the one that got pregnant. You was doing the same thing, you just didn't get caught.
Get caught.
Or you,
Yeah.
you got caught, you just got rid of.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Shandiosa.
Mark 10 says that he comes to seek and to save the lost and to give his life as a ransom for many. So his death, the resurrection, that whole work was for the forgiveness of sin. He said that people might have life and have it more abundantly. I died so you can live while you're not living. Do you know it's a slap in the face to Jesus to say my death was so you could live and you had a nerve not to be living? I died. Not only you have life but have it more abundantly. I wanted you to live like crazy and you won't. I want you no holds barred living and you scared. I died so you can live and you won't do it. You whine about dying every day. I can't understand. You don't have to die because I did it for you. Just live. That's your only responsibility is to live.
Yes. My God.
Then he says that whosoever was thirsty, spiritually thirsty, could come to him and be refreshed. He says, I got a water that'll cause you to never thirst again. So you can't even complain that you're thirsty. You just haven't hooked up to the right source.
Jesus. True.
So he says, I come to forgive past sins. This resurrection, one of the benefits was power for present living. How you living right now? Now, he done brought you from your past, but how you doing now? Some of us still living like we under the penalty of what we did before.
Wow.
We still living like we were in the street. We still got a street mentality. Because we don't understand that we have power for present living. That he has given, not only did he take me out of what I was in, but he gave me power to live in what he gave me. What good is it to buy a house and never furnish it?
Jesus.
Some of us just happy we got the house. But we scared to put anything in it. We scared to fill it up. And many of us, because God has moved us, the song say, from my old house to my new house, but I won't let him fill my house. I won't let him fill it with peace and fill it with joy and fill it with increase and fill it with abundance. I just got an empty house and I'm staying right there. Because most of us are stuck at the place of salvation. I'm just happy that I'm out of what I'm in. But I don't want to be better while I'm in what I'm in now. We have to understand and recognize that he has given us power for present living.
Yes.
He said, I come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. He said, not only do I want you to prosper, but I want you to prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Then he turns around and Philippians said, I want you to know that you can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. I don't just want you to live, but I want you to live. They love to say it all the time, that you can walk, you can work, but my God, win in life, will you?
Come on.
He said, I'm giving you power to win.
Yes.
At this thing called life. I conquered death so you could win.
That's right.
But why are you not winning? Why are there no trophies? Why are there no medals around your neck? Why are you failing in what you should be winning in?
Oh, God.
This is what the resurrection did for you. He gave you power for present living. That means anything that comes against you, truth of the matter is, it's powerless.
That's right.
That's right.
Just because it show up don't mean it show up with power. You scared at the fact that it showed up. Though the weapon may form. Yeah, the gun came, but it ain't got no bullets in it.
That's right.
Yeah.
You just scared at the gun. He said, but no, it's there, but it's powerless.
Jesus.
Just because it show up, it can't stop you from living.
Come on.
Just because it shows up, it can't stop you from moving. Just because it shows up, it can't stop you from being. Bible says it's in him that we live, move, and have our being. As long as I stay in him, can't nothing touch me.
That's right.
But the problem is we're trying to live outside of him. See, when I was growing up, my mama was a different kind of mama. You can go outside, but don't leave this driveway. You're going to be in the world, but not of it. So all my friends in the street playing, and all I can do is wave at them. Because whatever you do, you better not go. You know, and I'm like, so it's the sidewalk part of the yard. I'm just trying to get her to understand how far is too far. Because she said you're going to be, it's in. Then your safety is in your driveway. Your safety is in your yard. And as long as you don't go outside of it, can't nothing touch you.
Come on.
And I would push the envelope. be all out here. Y'all come as close to the door as y'all can. And as soon as I think I'm about to step a foot out, she opened that door. Like, you think she had eyes in her head? She opened that door and hollered your name. Because she said, I'm trying to keep you covered.
Come on.
And as long as you're in the yard, you covered. As long as you're in this ark of safety, you covered. And some of us, we just like me. We love to push the envelope.
Come on.
It's in him, I lay up. Ooh, I wonder what it is outside. If I could just get outside this yard. But he said safety in the yard. And see, one day I got outside the yard and the dog chased me all the way back to the yard. And I vowed to myself that, y'all. I realized then how there's safety in the yard. She said, you can go outside now. I don't even want to go outside.
Oh my God. Oh.
But what I didn't realize, the dog was barking. The dog was big and the dog was loud, but the dog was on a chain. Oh, he was making a whole bunch of noise, but truth of the matter is he couldn't even get me. Yes, the enemy shows up. Yes, the weapon formed, but it won't prosper. But you still got to stay in the yard. So some stuff happened to keep you in the yard. Because you hard-headed like me. I learned a lot of stuff the hard way. That's why I try to preach crazy because I don't want you to learn how I learn. Yeah. And some stuff I learned the hard way. I still got the scars to prove it.
I know you like God. Come on now.
So I don't want you to have to learn like that. But some of y'all, I know it. I got a sneaky feeling it's just as hard-headed as I am. Oh Lord, not only does it have forgiveness of past sins, power of present living, but it also gives us hope of a future. Lord, anybody want to believe that there's something greater than today? Yes. There's got to be something greater than what I've been through already. There's surely my best days are ahead of me and not behind me. See, some of us, we're not living because we think your best days were behind you. Some of you think, baby, you done did all that you can do. Do you realize that there are better days ahead? Do you recognize and understand you ain't laughed your biggest laugh? You ain't smiled your biggest smile? You ain't danced your greatest dance? You haven't accomplished your greatest goal? Better days are ahead of you. Yes. He said it's a hope for a future.
Yes.
Yes, Lord.
He raised himself from the dead. It had nothing to do with him and everything to do with us. He said, I got to go and prepare a place for you. This not your home. You just passing through. But oh my God, there's a future destiny. There's something greater than this. Can you imagine? I can't wait to get there.
Yes. Jesus.
I can't wait to get there because I know even when I leave this earth, there's a resurrection coming from me. Lord have mercy. I'm being resurrected by 20 times while I'm here. Because again, we all have dying moments. We all have dying thoughts. We have dying situations. But no matter how bad it gets, God always has a resurrection anointing. He can always pull you up from what you're in. He can always turn it around. I'm talking about the stuff that you don't think is no way, no how. He can still fix that too. Some stuff you done already wrote off. He say, unwrite it.
Right. Right.
What do you do when God give you the pencil and he said, I will give you permission to write the ending?
Wow.
And some of us will repeat the same cycle. Come on. We'll tell the story the same way.
Wow.
And he gave you a fresh start.
My
He
God.
done gave you a chance he done gave you a do-over. He done gave you a second chance. He done allowed you to do something different. And so we got to understand on this Resurrection Sunday.
Yes.
If I don't believe that, I can't believe nothing else. If I cannot believe that he died, and we believe that. He was buried, we believe it. It's this resurrection thing. Because no other God got up. But see, here is where this is. This is how we are defeated. Romans 8 and 11 says this. But if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you,
What is it going to do?
he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwell in you. What am I saying? But if God, here's the Message Bible, but if God himself has taken up resident in your life, you can hardly be thinking more of yourself than him. Anyone, of course, who has not welcomed this invisible but clearly present God, the Spirit of Christ, won't know what we're talking about. But for you who have welcomed him, in whom he dwells, even though you still experience all the limitations of this flesh, you also experience life on God's terms. It stands to reason, doesn't it, that if the alive and present God who raised Jesus from the dead moves into your life, he'll do the same in you, and he does as surely as he did in Jesus. You are delivered from that death life, that dead life. With his spirit living in you, your body will be alive as Christ is. So he says, this resurrection that took place physically, naturally, there is a resurrection. You have to believe it in order to believe that Jesus is in you and has the ability to resurrect you. Most of us are dead and down because we don't believe in the first resurrection, so you sure not going to believe in your resurrection. Most of us are having trouble doubting the work that Jesus did, so you sure don't think he's working in you. Wow. See, because the same spirit that raised Jesus from the dead, that same spirit can quicken you out of your dead situation. That same spirit will wake you up out of your nightmare. That same spirit can turn it around. That same spirit can fix it on your behalf. But if you don't believe he did it once, he ain't going to do it twice. Come on. My Lord. My God. And so many of us are somewhere between the tomb and the resurrection. You know he died. But you know, I wasn't there when he got up. Yeah. Oh, Lord. And so this thing is personal. Because I have to have a personal resurrection experience. I have to have a personal encounter to know. I've got to know that where I was, if it had not been. I got to know that the stuff I was in, nobody could get me out of it but God. I got to know the rough place that I was in when the season when I couldn't tell nobody, when I cried silent tears. I ain't talking about the ones people could see. I'm talking about the ones that nobody could see. When I was at the bottom and it was him that reached down and got me up. I got to know that there's a resurrection. Honey, I'm living in a house when I used to live in my car. You got to know that there's a resurrection. When I got money in the bank when you didn't even have no bank account, you got to know. Jesus. Got to know. Oh, true. You got to know. You got to know. And this we know. Yes. You have to know. He that begun a good work. What was the first work? Him dying. He started the work the day he died. He only died for you. If it wasn't for you, he'd have to die. So he that begun a good work. Stop celebrating the act and get into the work. Because the act is finished, but he's still working on you. My God. He said, I'm going to be working on you till I get back. I'm going to be working in you till I get back. I'm going to be working through you till I get back. He that begun. That's right. A good work. Yes. And so we got to realize on this resurrection day, Lord have mercy, that I'm so glad that he said what he said. We listened to all 7 things he said. I'm so glad he said it. I'm so glad he opened up his mouth and said something. It convicts me daily to open up my eye. That even in my dying situation, I still got a voice. Even when it looked bad, I can say something different. I can open up my mouth and change the course of my situation. I can frame my world with my words. I can open up my mouth and declare a thing, and so shall it be. I can open up my mouth by faith. No, I ain't got to see it, but when I say it, I'll start seeing it. Some of us, we won't see it till we say it, but we won't say it because we think we won't see it. Come on. Come on, yeah. And so he shows us, he gives us a depiction that even as at the lowest, because see, it's not till you get in trouble that you really know what you convicted of. Yeah. Come on. Oh my. Now, as long as he was on the earth and he was walking and he was teaching, he had some strong convictions. Every time he showed up on the scene, he healed somebody. Every time he showed up on the scene, somebody's life was changed. But you know, when we get in a bad situation, we don't want to help nobody no more. When we get in a bad situation, we don't have kind words no more. But here he is in the worst predicament ever, and he's still thinking about somebody else. In the worst predicament ever, and he's still making sure his mama taken care of. In the worst predicament ever, and still got a heart of forgiveness. In the worst predicament ever, and still said, I got to fulfill prophecy. In the worst condition ever, and was not You know what? He wanted a time out. Can I just come down? Up, but if I come down, darling, gonna be lost. Ooh, I need to come down. It's getting hot up here, Lord. Boy, but if I come down, Chris Landon. See, he don't know no nicknames. He call you by your government name. Oh yeah, he don't call me Bishop. He call me Constance. Cause that's my government name. He said, no, I got a name that I can call you that you'll answer. Nobody else might know it. But God don't speak to you in no nickname. Jesus.
That's right. Good.
Thank you, Lord. So you got to understand that you can say something. In this next season, your next breakthrough is coming by what comes out of your mouth. Your next breakthrough, you're going to speak it. Your next breakthrough, you're going to declare, no, it ain't going to be prophet. It ain't going to be the bishop. It ain't going to be the pastor. It's coming out of your own mouth. If you're going to break through this season, it's because you say it so. If you're going to get it this season, it's because you declare it. If you're going to get it this season, it's because you made up your mind that you are. I wish somebody would open up their mouth and declare that this is my season. I'm going to get everything I declare. I'm going to get everything I decree. Because if Jesus could say something in the worst time of his life, then surely I can say something now. I can have whatsoever I say. If I just open up my mouth, doors will be open. If I just open up my mouth, windows will be open. If I just open up my mouth, favor will come. If I just open up my mouth, sickness will flee. If I just open up my mouth, I'm so glad that he said something.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
But I'm not just saying, I'm not glad that he said something, but I'm glad that he did something. There's a whole bunch of folks saying something, but they ain't doing nothing with what they said.
My God.
That's right.
It's the truth.
Oh, God. My grandma say you make your mouth say anything.
Anything.
Yes.
JB.
Then I had a teacher in middle school that say, sound like you're talking out of both sides of your head. Lord have mercy. Yeah, so it's not enough to say something. I'm so glad that he did something. This is the season that you're going to have to put action to what you say. I know you waiting on the breakthrough, but while you waiting, go on start breaking. While you waiting, go on start emailing. While you waiting, go ahead and get the phone ready. While you waiting, go on to change your wardrobe. While you waiting on God, go ahead and fix yourself up. While you waiting on God, what do you do? How does God know you're ready? What are you willing to do? What are you willing to say? How are you willing to position yourself? How are you willing to change your posture? How are you willing to set this thing up? You said it, but if you believe it, you'll start acting like it.
That's it. My.
So I got to know that a hallelujah is not enough this season.
Say that, Bishop.
I need a do you look. Lord, I don't want the holler. I need to do. I need an anointing to take action. I need an anointing to get off my do nothing and do something. I need an anointing that'll get straight to my ankle bones. I need an anointing that'll help me believe in my dream. That'll help me believe in my vision. That'll help me believe in my household. That'll help me believe in my marriage. That'll help me believe in my ministry. That'll help me believe in my money. I need an anointing that'll cause me to do something. Nobody asked me. I just did it. I took the anointing of Nike. Just do it. You don't need no permission. You know permission slip needed. Who gonna sign it anyway? Can't nobody sign for you. You got to know that God told you to do it. You got to know that he said you could be it. You got to know he said you could have it. Somebody say, I got to do something.
Do something.
Now look at your neighbor and say, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
You got to do something.
Yes. Got to do something.
Then I teach this. I say, you got to understand, when you hear an instruction, when you hear information that is new to your hearing, you lose it if you don't activate it in 48 hours. So I just told you to do something. So there's a 48-hour anointing that's released over you. There's a 48-hour activation. You don't realize that as soon as you said, I'm going to do something, the door just opened for you to do it. Favor just showed up for you to do it. That was a release for you to walk in it. Oh yeah, I know the school told you no, go back again. I know the job turned you down, go back again. I know the caller said, are you serious? Yes, I am. I know the house folks say, baby, you can't have it, watch me. You got to recognize that when favor show up, my feet go in that direction.
Jesus.
Somebody say 48 hours.
48 hours.
then the last thing, Lord have mercy. Not only am I glad that he said what he said, but I'm glad that he did what he did. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that he got up. Lord have mercy. I'm glad that he got up. I'm glad that he rose up. I'm glad that he had integrity. I'm glad that he did what he said. But I'm not just glad for that, but because he lives in me, that means I have that same get up anointing. That means no matter what lays dormant, all I got to tell it is to get up. No matter what's going down, all I got to declare is get up. No matter what's going wrong, all I got to do is declare get up. My money going down, get up. My peace going down, get up. My joy going down, get up. My happiness going down, get up. My anointing going down, get up. Because what he did when he got up, he gave me a resurrected anointing. When he got up, he said at any moment you can access this anointing. Can't nothing lay down unless you give it permission. If it needs to get up, shout get up.
My God, my God.
There is a resurrection. I know that's right, baby. When they can't declare what you declared for them, get up. You don't realize there's an anointing. My kids can be sleeping in the house. Everybody's sleeping in the house, but there is a set time.
Come on.
That everything got to get up. There is a set time. Oh, and all I have to do, I ain't even got to go to where they are. I just stand at the foot of the stairs and holler, get up!
Come on. My God. Jesus.
And I got to tell you the truth. There's some stuff that I think dead that's sleeping real hard. And I got to holler again, get up! There's some stuff that have the nerve to be stubborn and act like it's not going to get up. It get up and roll over. Now if I have to put my foot on the steps, you better get up. Now if I got to walk up the steps, you better get up. But you got to recognize my voice. You got to hear authority. My sister stayed with me and she said, get up. That didn't move them. I had my mama back then. She stayed with them. Y'all better get up. Didn't move them because there's a voice of authority to what God gave you authority over. And anytime it hears your voice, it must get up. It must respond. There's some things you've been sleeping on. You've been sleeping on you. Touch yourself and say, self, get up.
Get up. Jesus. My God.
My Lord.
Oh, my God. Jesus.
My God.
Preach. Preach.
Oh, God.
My God today.
Before I wake anybody else up, I got to get up.
Right.
How you gonna get me up from the bed?
Now.
I got to wake up.
Come on.
And everything around me got to wake up.
Come on.
Then when I go outside, if you sleep, you got to wake up. But it starts inside. How you waking up the world in your house sleep?
See? Wow.
God.
Jesus.
Tell me how. Tell me how. So we have a responsibility. Somebody say this wake up is an inside job. Oh yeah. I got to go home and tell everything sleeping get up. Oh yeah, peace will sleep, but you're gonna get up. It's gonna be peace in this house. It's gonna be joy in this house. Everything that was once dead, you got to walk in with a resurrection anointing. Everything that was laying dormant, you got to go in the house and resurrect everything. Y'all used to be happy. You used to laugh. Y'all used to play together. What happened?
Come on.
Jesus.
You have to.
What happened?
You have to command it to get up.
My God.
So I'm glad that he said what he said. I'm even glad that he did what he did. But most importantly, I'm glad that he got up. I'm glad that he kept his word. I'm glad that he kept his promise.
Yes.
He said, I'm going to die, but I'm going to get up.
Yes.
I'm going to lay it down. But because I got power to lay it down, I got power to get back up.
Yes.
And he got back up.
Thank you, Lord.
Only for you and you and you and you and
My
you.
God. Thank you.
His getting up was because he had you in mind. He got up. Somebody shout next.
Next.
You got next.
Yes, Lord.
got next. Mary, go look where he lay.
Yeah.
Only thing was left there is the grave clothes. Because even when I get up, there's some stuff I'm going to leave there. Even when I get up, I'm going to leave what's dead behind me. Even when I get up, because see, forgiveness is wrapped up in my get up. So when I get up, I'm going to lay down every hurt. When I get up, every pain going to stay there. When I get up, now I want you to see where you see the stuff. You know it was wrapped up because when they put him in there, they got to wrap him up like a mummy. So all the stuff was there. I just went.
Jesus.
So I challenge you, I charge you. Because he got up. You got next. What you gonna do with your time? How you gonna show up when you get up? Because he didn't even stay by the tomb. The angel said, now go tell them, he gonna meet them. They don't come where I died. Come where I'm up here. I only want you to come back to this dead place. See, some people trying to find you where they left you. See, you left me down there, and you thought I was dead, but you're going to have to meet me over here.
Just got real.
Come on.
Look at your neighbor, nudge him, say, I ain't trying to bother you.
I ain't trying to bother you.
But you got next.
But you got next.
Tell them, I'll wait.
I'll wait.
Because today, I told you you got a 48-hour clock over your head. And today, it just got real.
Just got real.
Just got real.
Just got real. You got next. Because God is concerned about it. What concerns you. He was so concerned that he sent his son to die. He died for your purpose. He died for your passion. He died for your gifts, your talents, your abilities. He died so that you could be a reflection of him in the earth. What are you going to do with the deposit he made in your life? What you going to do with that? You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. There's an X over your head, man. Ain't nothing you can do with that. But God only say, accept your next. All you can do is accept it. All you can do is embrace it. I mean, do you really believe you got next?
Come on.
I'm talking like the dreams and stuff you have that it could really come to pass. That it's manifestation time. I mean, do you really believe that? Huh? That you sitting here now, but in the next 3 months you'll be holding what you was working on. That you can see the manifestation of what God was doing in you. He's going to do it on the outside of you. Can you imagine that you can open up your mouth and favor would come and the folk around you will start going, what's going on with you? What's happening? There's so much favor that people say God got to be with him because ain't nobody else can do this. Do you realize that favor will get you in places that money can't? Do you realize that God can get ready to open doors supernaturally for you? Do you realize that the prayers that you prayed, God called them? And he said, in not just a few more days, I'm getting ready to manifest something supernatural in your favor. I'm getting ready to do the impossible for you. I'm getting ready to do for you what you can't do for yourself. I'm getting ready to straighten some stuff out on your behalf. I'm trying to tell you, God has a gift of anointing.
Come on here. My God. Jesus.
Because some folk it's hard for us to get up. We need assistance to get up. But my Bible tells me that he's a very present help in a time of trouble. Have you ever needed help and couldn't find no help? He said, I'm a present help. Even if your knees then got bad and you can't get up, here I come. Even if your back then got bad and you can't give up, here I come. He knows how to help us. And I'm telling you, there's a get up anointing.
Oh, God.
There's a get up anointing. Better days.
Yes.
You hear what I'm telling you? Better days. I declare to you that every nightmare is over. Lord have mercy. I know it's been hard, and sometimes you just can't see no better days. It's like I want to believe it, but man, come on here. It ain't gonna get no better than this. No way it can get better than this. But I declare to you that if you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, the worst thing you could do right now is quit. The worst thing you could do right now is stop. But I declare to you, I go back to you as a little girl about 8. Every dream you ever had, God says in this next season of your life, I shall bring it to pass. In this next season of your life, but there is a healing that's taking place on the inside of you. There are some doors that's been opened, but God said, I'm coming to close every door. I'm coming to settle every matter. And God said that the days that are ahead, oh God, are going to be life-changing days. In the next 3 months, you won't even know yourself. In the next 3 months, if you would just lean on Somebody say, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Oh my goodness, what a word, what a word. I hope that there's a resurrection anointing that has hit you wherever you are when you watch this video. I'm telling you, there was an anointing in the house, and I want to encourage you. You have 48 hours to get up and get going. Because he died, that was just the act. But him resurrecting himself was the work. He's still working today, and he's working in you. You got 48 hours. Get up and do something that God would be excited about. It's a great day to get up.